In February 1965, civil rights campaigner MalcolmX was in Britain to speak at the London School of Economics. Avtar Singh Jaul, General Secretary of the Indian Workers' Association, invited him to speak at Birmingham University and visit Smethwick, a small town in the West Midlands. Smethwick was a hotbed of racial tension. Just like other areas of Britain, immigration in the 1960s had been an issue as white British blamed the lack of housing and jobs on people of colour. A group of white residents, led by Alice Groves, had successfully petitioned the Tory council to purchase houses compulsorily that came on the market in their neighbourhood and let them to white families only.
During the last 2 years, Marshall Street has completely fallen apart. We have watched it happen. And this delegation to the council was purely to try and make a stand to stop the road completely being taken over by coloured people. As I say myself, for ourselves, only being residents in Marshall Street 4.5 years, but we're proud of this house that we're buying, and we want to keep the road reasonably clean and fit to live in, and to live peaceably with the coloured people, providing it was on 50-50 basis. But if all these houses that we know are for sale, or potential for sale in the near future, do go to coloured people, we shall definitely be outnumbered in this road.
Their way of living is not like the white people, see? Because what they cook, there's always fumes of fire coming from it, and that's what they don't like. Well, I don't suppose any white people would like it.
I work with them on the railway, and I've got quite nice friends on the railway, and I deal with a lot of them that come to the church here to get married and to christen their babies, and I get along all right with the Jamaicans anyhow.
The standard of living is very, very low amongst the coloured people. If there were less of them perhaps and more of us, then they would learn to live as we do. But as it is, they're just living in their own little communities and living how they lived, probably in India or wherever it was they came from. And the standard of living is very low.
They've got some terrible habits. And as I've told you, with the things that we've seen them do in the streets, as regards of emptying the chambers in the gutter, they used to put the children on the pavement to do the business. And also, when they come from the pubs at night, they're half slewed. They come along using the street as a urine, doing it as they're walking along.
Have you seen this yourself?
Definitely, yes. And also, they use the back gardens for toilets. I don't think they know what the toilets are for.
The white people in this street say that the West Indians are unsanitary in their habits. True?
That's a lie. If you get to the full understanding of the matter, the white people are more sanitary more than the colored people. If you don't mind, I say so. For one reason, the colored people, they won't buy a house without it has a bath. There's thousands of these white people who live in a house without having bath.
When the Labour government blocked the proposal, sporadic violence broke out. At the 1964 election, Conservative MP Peter Griffiths infamously won the Smethwick seat after a campaign employing the slogan, "If you want a N-word for a neighbour, vote Liberal or Labour." Colin Jordan, leader of the neo-Nazi British movement, claimed that his members had produced the initial slogan and spread the poster and sticker campaign. Griffiths denied the slogan was racist or that he used it himself, but failed to denounce those that did. In an interview he said, "I should think that is a manifestation of the popular feeling. I would not condemn anyone who said that. I would say that is how people see the situation in Smethwick. I fully understand the feelings of the people who say it. I would say it is exasperation, not fascism. Following the election result, a British branch of the Ku Klux Klan formed, and black and ethnic minority residents in the area had burning crosses put through their letterboxes. New Labour Prime Minister, Harold Wilson, declared Peter Griffiths a parliamentary leper. In a show of solidarity, MalcolmX accepted the invitation and visited Marshall Street in Smethwick on the 12th of February 1965. Malcolm told the press, "I have come because I am disturbed by reports that coloured people in Smethwick are being treated badly. I have heard that they are being treated as the Jews were under Hitler." The local paper called him an unexpected and largely unwelcome guest. The BBC sent a camera crew to follow him around, but they never broadcast the footage. Avtar walked round Smethwick with Malcolm. When they came to Marshall Street, Malcolm chose to walk alone, saying if there was any trouble, he would handle it. As MalcolmX walked down Marshall Street, he was jeered by white residents who told him they didn't want any more black people living there. Afterwards, Malcolm spoke about how disgusted he was at what he had seen. He said it was worse than some parts of the United States. After looking at Marshall Street, the IWA took Malcolm to see the colour bar in local pubs. Avtar said, "He told us he was shocked that an open colour bar existed in Britain. By that time, it was not legal in the US. Malcolm's visit helped change the atmosphere for people resisting racism around Smethwick. It was people gaining the confidence to fight back that shifted things nationally. The Labour government passed the first Race Relations Act in 1965, which outlawed discrimination in public places such as pubs.